In today's video, you're going to get to see a beautiful 1971 Super Bee. Hello everybody and welcome to Classic Car ChitChat. My name's Kevin. I'm thrilled you're joining me today. Today you're going to meet a gentleman. His name is Jim. Jim owns a stunning 1971 Dodge Super Bee. He's had this car for about 18 years. It's been fully restored to the original factory specs. It's got an amazing 383 Magnum engine in this beautiful yellow color. And what makes this a little bit more special is that the day that we shot this video marked the actual 42nd year of her birthday. So without further ado, let's hop in, let's go for a drive, and let's check out this beautiful 1971 Super Bee. Beautiful. Jim, rev the engine, sir. That is a beast. Honk the horn. Beautiful. Turn her off. Come on out. Good Lord, man. Tell me what you've got here, Jim.
This is a 1971 Dodge Super Bee.
And how long have you had it? Here's the million-dollar question.
I've had it since I was 18 years old, and that's 42 years, ironically, today.
No way. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
So we couldn't have timed this better.
I just figured that out when I was waiting on you, and I thought, my God, it was 42 years today.
Wow. Now, is this the very first car you ever got?
No, I had a 72 Challenger before that, and I wrecked it. So when I got this one, I hung on to it.
Wow. She's absolutely beautiful. Is this all original there, Jim?
This is the way it was built, yes. It's been restored, but this is the way it came off the line.
And essentially you're one of the only bums to have sat behind the seat on this car?
I bought it from the original owner when it was 11 years old.
Jim, you know she's flawless, right? It's absolutely stunning.
To most people it looks that way, but it's, I mean, it is a nice car, but...
yes, as any true owner, you always probably see some of the flaws, but hey, I tell you, it's absolutely gorgeous. I didn't realize how long the car is.
It is a boat. I think it's 17 feet long.
Yeah, I was gonna guess. 17 seems like the right number for this.
But it's not that heavy. It only weighs 3,750 pounds.
Really?
Yeah, it's a lot of empty space.
Wow. The finish on this car, when was this repainted, Jim?
When I finished the restoration, that was probably about 12 years ago.
My goodness. You know what's funny though? The original color of my MG was sort of this color.
Yeah, eh?
Very similar, very similar. My Lord, what an absolute beast of a car this is. So out of the factory, do you know like how many horsepower this car would have had?
This car came from the factory with 300 horsepower.
300.
And with the rebuild that I did, it dynoed at, it was on a dyno and it dynoed at 465 now.
So why is that? When you do a rebuild, are you coring it out a little bit bigger? and
Well,
make some
I don't know if you get all
modifications?
that much more. It's performance modifications. I did a lot. I'm a tool maker. I did a lot of fancy head work on it.
Okay.
It's I could go on and on and on, but I did pretty good on it.
And you did the work yourself, Jim, for the most
I
part?
did all the difficult machining, and then I handed it over to an engine builder to assemble it.
Beautiful. Now the badging on this is again straight out of the factory.
That's
This
the
is
way
how
it came from the factory, yeah. All the stripes, color.
My gosh. Now the vent is actually a useful vent, or is
No,
it just
that's all decorative.
It's just
That's just an
decorative.
insert.
Yeah, okay. It's lovely though. The chrome as well, Jim. Like this.
The bumpers have been re-chromed. All the emblems I bought new. Wheel well moldings, rims, tires.
Now the original car also would have had the spoiler below it like that.
Yep.
Same color combination,
Yes.
the black.
Yeah.
As well. My gosh.
There was a certain package that you got. It had the front spoiler, the rear spoiler,
Right.
and the dual exhaust that run out the back valence.
Okay. I love the clean look of this. Even the way the side lights there are just kind of masked away in there.
That is a one-off year.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Because that's not every year then, right?
No,
This
that
is
was
it.
the only year they made them like that.
That's one way to differentiate your year, I suppose.
And
isn't it?
1971 means that fender is unique to that year only. Although a 72 is the exact same shape, it doesn't have the inset marker lights.
That's extraordinary. You know what else is interesting? Your rims, road style rims, essentially very similar,
Very similar, yeah.
to the MG.
Yeah.
Although mine were originally painted, they were powder coated recently to replicate chrome.
Yeah, I remember you saying
Amazing job. So
that. They look great, yeah.
it's amazing how technology has changed. The look and feel about this car, Jim, just fabulous. I love the way she sits.
Yeah, it's pretty, we got as much meat under as I can get without it hitting the inner fenders when you hit a bump. And I don't want to go too far with it. It's not a race car.
But like even inside, it's so clean, Jim. You don't wax the underside of this, do you?
No. That was just from the restoration.
My goodness. Amazing job. And where was the engine shop that did the restoration on this?
That was Mississauga Engines,
Oh, really?
right here in Streetsville.
Beautiful. Now the rears are much larger?
Yeah, the rear tires are P275 15s, and they're P245 15s in the front.
It just gives that a little bit of a rake going forward, doesn't it?
And I think they're 11 inches wide, so it hooks up as good as you can. These old cars don't hook up very well, but it hooks up pretty good.
I just can't believe how straight everything is, Jim.
Yeah, well, that was a very expensive paint job. That was done in Tonawanda, New York.
Really? So you had the car shipped down there?
He came up, picked it up, painted it, and brought it back for me.
Amazing. The finish is extraordinary on this.
It's got 3 coats of clear on it.
My God, Jim. So you have zero intention of selling this car, then, do you?
Never, ever, ever.
Yeah,
You could offer me twice as much as what it's worth, and I would not sell it.
No, I can imagine.
I'd just have to go buy another one, and it wouldn't mean as much
It wouldn't
to me.
be the same thing. I mean, it's so rare that you meet somebody like, I could use some choice language right now. My God, Jim.
That's the original spare tire. That spare tire is 53 years old.
My goodness. And
That's
this
a
is for your
battery
battery
box.
cover?
Yeah, I moved the battery into the back.
Yes.
The
As
clean-
many do.
Yeah.
And is that the original jack?
That's the original jack, yeah. I painted it all. I had the
Wonderful.
rim removed, or the tire removed, and then painted the rim. And
That's extraordinary. That's it. So this is actually how the rear spoiler is mounted. eh?
Yes, yeah.
That's really interesting. Beautiful. Can we take a look at where the good stuff is at the front?
Yes, we
Let's take a
can.
look at the engine. So there's no release from inside. Everything is on the outside there, Jim?
Yes, it is.
Oh, that's a good solid chunk of metal right there. Oh my God. Jim, enough to make a grown man cry. Look at this thing.
Yeah, that's a lot of work went into that.
Ah.
And I got some dirt on it.
Oh, for crying out. Jim, what are you thinking? Like you knew we were making a video. Look at this thing. Original color from the shop would have been this orange?
That is the original color. You can't buy it anymore. And I Googled it and I found a dealership in Detroit that had a case of it. And I bought it and had it shipped up here.
I bet. That's a keeper. My goodness.
And like I said before, I'm a tool maker, so all this, I custom fabricated all these
so
fuel
clean,
lines,
Jim.
engraved the engine size, built all these pieces. I built the conduit cover here, everything. I built all this stuff
That is
myself.
amazing.
And I did a lot of head work on it, and cylinder head work on it, a lot of head work.
I just...
So it's still factory iron heads on it, but I'm able to move enough air through it that I can get 465 horse out of it. And I could get more if I put a bigger carburetor on it, but it's fast enough.
It's fast enough. I just can't get over how good a job you've done keeping everything clean and tidy. Just the wiring, the cables, everything. Like everything is so well hidden. Fabulous job.
Yeah.
Very
Once
very
a year,
well
I wash
done.
when I bring it out in the spring, I wash the whole car, starting with the motor.
Jim, she's something else.
This was always a nice piece, I thought, this is my dipstick.
No way.
I made that myself.
You fabricated that. That's
Yeah.
lovely.
The dipstick, the out of a stainless, everything's stainless steel.
Wow.
All my wire separators.
Oh my God.
These pieces that you see here are
Yes.
it's actually a sleeve dowel that goes through and taper locks the intake to the head so the ports all match up exactly.
Oh my God, Jim. You've done a
Took me years to finish this motor.
I bet, but just thinking it through and what you wanted to do to it and to do it right, and you took your time, obviously. Look at the way the whole, what is that back there? Okay, so that is all the piping. You did that yourself as well?
Yeah, this is all just your brake distributor.
But the way the coil is there, you kind of...
That's all done. That's all factory.
My gosh.
You can order it. It's just that all the lines are stainless steel.
Beautiful.
They're all pre-bent. You can buy them from the States.
But even your electrical box back there, it's just so cleanly done. It's just...
That's 100% factory. All I did with that was clean it.
Yeah, you did a great job.
But it's all new wiring harnesses too. Everything was new. Everything.
I can't get over how much space there is here.
That's why I say it only weighs 3,750 pounds, but there's a lot of empty space.
Lots of empty space. Like, oh my God, that's the size of apartments in Toronto. Like, that is incredible. Almost what, 1.5 feet?
Yeah.
It's extraordinary. Jim. Oh my Lord. You know you've got something special here.
Everybody seems to like it.
And you're shaking it. I wonder why, he says. No, it's just fabulous. It's enough, as I say, to make a grown man cry. Like this checks off so many boxes. So tell me about the actual Dodge and the Chargers. So they made a select number of the Super Bs.
Right. They were made from 1968 to 1971.
Right.
And some of the uniqueness of this particular model was the last year they made a 71 Super B, or that's the last year they made a Super B.
Right.
It was the last year they made a 383. It was the only year a Super B was made from the Charger platform. It was always a Coronet before this.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
And it was by far and away the lowest production year. They only made 5,054 of them.
Wow.
So it's a pretty rare car. It's not super rare, but it's fairly rare.
And how many in this particular paint combination? Do you
Oh,
know?
I couldn't tell you. It's a kind of a rare selection for the paint. It came in many, many different colors.
Right.
But I have seen them through the years, same color, but not very many.
This works with this car though, doesn't it?
It does.
It really does.
It works really well with the stripes. It really makes everything, and all the flat black accents.
Now, is this a decal?
It is a decal, yes.
Nice. Beautifully done. It's everything about this car. Even like the way they got the stainless steel going around the rim there is just fabulous. Very, very special indeed, Jim. Very special. There's not a bad angle to this car, is there?
I've had people say it has such nice lines.
Definitely.
When I saw it the first time I saw it, I was 18, and I saw it in a parking lot in Sault Ste. Marie, and I
Okay.
thought, well, that is a nice car. The next time I saw it 8 months later, it had a for sale sign in the back, and I bought it.
Now, did you live in the Sioux?
Yeah, that's where I'm originally
Okay, I was going to say it's an awful long way to go to kind of just happen to come across this car. So wow, so it was just meant to be, wasn't it?
from. It would kind of seem that way.
Right place, right time, just worked out. And 18 years. Now, what was the condition like when you got the car?
Oh,
Was
it
fairly
had
good?
rust on it.
Yeah.
It was 100% original.
Wow.
I bought it off a 55-year-old lady. The story that she told me then was that they had bought this car to bribe their son to stay home rather than go away to school.
Okay.
And he went away anyway.
Right.
So they welded a trailer hitch to the back of it, and they used it to pull a trailer.
No way.
And when they sold the trailer, they sold the car.
Wow. You could get a truck to do exactly that for you, but hey.
I can't explain why. It must
My
have looked
goodness.
odd driving down the road pulling a trailer with a
In
Super
this
B,
thing,
but
yeah.
I guess it worked for them.
Beautiful. May I take a look inside? Beautiful. Look at the size of the door, Jim. It's enormous.
Yeah, they're heavy.
Wow. That is very interesting. Original radio, Jim.
Yes, that's an AM
Wow.
radio. It still works.
Beautiful. Look at the console. That is a very unique design element.
That is actually pretty common. They put those in Challengers, Barracudas, Chargers from about 1970 to 74. But
Wow.
what is rare is that a Super B, a 71 Super B, almost all of them came with a bench seat and a column shifter.
Oh, so the fact you've got buckets in this thing.
This was an option, yeah.
Amazing.
Most 71 Super Bs, because a Super B is supposed to be the budget hot
Really?
rod.
Okay.
The
kind of the working man's.
Right,
Yeah.
the higher end one was the RT.
Okay.
But not many Super Bs in 71 were built with this interior.
Amazing. Now, did you have to do a lot of the restoration on the seats and everything too?
Those seats were recovered. The back seat is original, and I completely gutted the interior and painted everything.
Oh my gosh.
And put
Jim,
in new
it's,
carpet, new headliner.
You've done a remarkable job on this car. Absolutely fantastic.
Right down to your door. I can't remember what they call them, kickers or something.
Right.
Your kick plates, everything is new.
Extraordinary, Jim. It's basically a brand new car.
It is.
Isn't it?
It's got about, I would say, about 3,000 miles on it now.
Really?
Yeah.
And what was the mileage on it when
See,
you
this
bought
is
the car?
this is something that's always unique too. That
Okay.
it still has the original
Sticker there.
factory VIN number sticker.
So what was the mileage when you got the car back?
69,000.
Okay.
And now it's got 141,000.
141. And mostly fair weather driving, right?
Oh
'Cause
yeah,
you don't
after
like
I
to get
got it,
dirty.
they never drove it in the winter. and I never have.
Wow.
So the car has never been winter driven.
So in the Sioux, it probably sat an awful lot then, because
Yeah.
winters are longer than hours.
Yeah.
My gosh, Jim. Absolutely stunning. Well, we've chatted enough. Should we go for a little drive?
I'm ready if you are.
Start her up, sir. Ah, that's music. Who needs a radio, Jim?
Well, I don't use it. I don't use the radio a lot. That's true.
Wow. And wind-up windows too.
Oh yeah.
Young kids are looking at that thing. What's that, Dad?
That's my wife.
Oh. So we make a little bit of a cameo appearance right there, Jim. Oh my God, Jim. She drives like a dream.
It shifts. I've rebuilt the transmission too, so it shifts pretty hard. Like it'll give you 30.
You feel it.
It'll
right?
give you 30 feet of rubber, both tires in second gear if you're
All right.
if you're crazy enough to do it. And I've done it.
Well, you're just a young man.
Yeah.
Good brakes, Jim. What are they? Drums all around?
No, they're discs in the front.
Discs. Okay.
Super V, I believe, was you automatically got discs in the front.
Okay. The engine sound alone, Jim. It's
It sounds great. It's got a brand new. I ordered it from the States. Brand new prefabbed stainless steel exhaust system all through it.
all the way through. And so here's $1 million question then. Do you ever have problems with her trying to keep her cool in the summertime?
None.
Really?
Zero. Which was something I did not expect. I've still got the factory ride in it,
Yeah.
but on the hottest day of the year, no issues.
No problems, hey? And that's rare.
It is
Like,
rare.
So many of us have to go into like aftermarket.
I did not expect that.
Yeah. Oh my God, Jim. Makes you feel young again, hey?
All right. I get
If only we can get our hair back. That's the only thing missing.
after 42 years, I still get goosebumps.
Oh, I know.
I don't know. It's always a nostalgia trip.
Yeah,
Every time you're in it, it's a nostalgia trip.
so true. Oh my gosh. Jim, I just left a nasty stain on your seat right there. Wow.
It's not a paper tiger. It's the real deal.
No, it is the real deal. Pure muscle. Ah. I am speechless, Jim.
Oh, it goes.
It goes, yes.
And that's not everything you can do either.
Jim, man.
The motor runs spectacular because of the endless hours of intricate machining that I did to get it like this. I remachined all the combustion chambers. So they're all identical. I did a lot of what's called blueprinting to it.
What does that mean?
It just means that when your motor's mass produced, these old motors especially, when they're mass produced, they're pretty crude.
Okay.
And your volume in your, for example, your volume in your combustion chamber is supposed to be this amount. Well, believe me, it's roughly, very roughly that amount. Your first cylinder number 1 maybe that amount. Cylinder number 2 maybe much less. Cylinder number 3 maybe much more. They're look at these guys. They're complete. They're 8 different sizes is what you work out to. And
Is that because of improper, like precision engineering back in the day?
it's rough casting.
It is.
Casting
Okay,
is
so
way-
that was just the way it was. That was the
Yeah.
best that they could do.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
So I remachined all the combustion chambers, for example, is one of many things that I did.
Right.
So that they all CC'd, which means I measure them by pouring alcohol in them.
Yeah.
And so they all CC'd within 1% of each other.
Okay. So far better tolerances, more precision
Right.
engineering.
Your crankshaft,
Yeah.
your throw on your crankshaft, your degree of separation, all those things are not the same.
Yes.
But-
Yes.
So you send out your crank and you have it indexed, and it
This helps me understand why you're getting more horsepower now.
yeah.
Because there's a number of factors that came into play.
And when you time your ignition timing, it used to be back in the day you could, when you're timing your car, it didn't seem to make a difference where you put your distributor unless
Yeah.
you were way out of whack.
Right.
It's because all 8 cylinders required basically a different
Yeah.
optimum timing point.
Okay.
But once you blueprint the motor, all 8 cylinders are identical.
Right.
So instead of one cylinder making 50 horsepower and the one beside it making 35, they all make 50.
Got it. So you've rebuilt it to better specifications than what the car originally came out with.
Infinitely better
Yes.
specifications.
That is amazing.
Now this motor is probably one of a kind. Well, I know it's one of a kind, but I don't know if anybody's getting that much
You know you
power.
can make a living doing this for people's cars, hey?
You'd make a pretty bad living because it's sure nobody could afford to pay you that
No,
much.
that's true. The hourly rate or the hours that go into it, no
Yeah,
doubt.
just
yeah.
countless hours.
Yeah. But, you know, half the battle is finding a true master mechanic or a craftsman that knows his stuff, that can work with those kinds of tolerances.
I'm not a mechanic, but I'm pretty good with metalwork.
Yeah. So what was the very first car you bought? It wasn't this one. You had something that you said
I
prior to
had
this?
a 1972 Challenger with
Okay.
a 344 speed in it.
Wow, okay.
And that was about 6 months before I got this one.
Right.
And that was way too much car
Uh-huh.
for a stupid 18-year-old, and it ended up upside down.
Okay. And a very honest 18-year-old now.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
So I knew not to make that mistake again.
Right on. Oh my God, Jim. That never gets tiring, does it?
Oh, it's a blast. It's a blast. You got to get it out in the country where there's
Yes.
lots of room, right?
Outstanding. Wow. What a gem. Okay, this is fabulous. And I love the lap belt. It's just beautifully engineered, Jim. Like, I just don't know what to say.
Well, I appreciate the compliments. It's
stunning.
it's a fun car to have.
My goodness. Okay.
And they're worth this is probably worth, if I wanted to sell it, I think I could get about 80,000 for it. But you could offer me double that and I'd turn you down.
No, true. It's not about the money afterwards, is it?
No. I used to sleep in this thing. Used to be my only car when I was young.
Right.
I used to drive it to work.
So it's a part of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to have for a little while when I was moved to Southern Ontario, I was homeless. So I slept in it.
My goodness.
I had a pillow, a sleeping bag, and a wind-up alarm clock, and I lived in it.
Wow. There's not too many cars you can say that in nowadays, for sure. Certainly not the MG. I mean,
Yeah, that would be a pretty cramped.
that would be cramped conditions for sure. But my oh my, Jim. So it's really a part of you more than anything, isn't it? Like
Oh,
you've seen
man.
this
I've
car
got-
through.
I've got
everything.
stories with this thing that would take a lot longer video.
So here's a question then. How many kids do you have?
One,
Oh, so that makes it a little bit easier.
and it's a boy.
Yes, okay. And he's a car guy, so we're all good. Yeah.
So he knows eventually
Wow.
it's
Jim.
his.
Just fabulous. Okay, Jim, I
Thank
want to
you.
thank you for giving me, number one, a thrill of a lifetime, a little bit of a scare to go with it, but it was fabulous. It really takes you back to old school, pure engineering, and you've taken that engineering up a notch as well, maybe
Oh, yes.
several notches, and made this beautiful machine that, it just sings. It sounds fantastic. She looks gorgeous. She runs like the wind, and it's just a beautiful machine.
Well, thanks for all those compliments. It's the only payback you get for all the work that goes into it.
Absolutely. Yes, and we appreciate it, so thank you.